you know. And in this video, I just wanted to talk about, like, when you see something, you need to say something. When something is not right, you have to bring it to someone's attention. You know, I see things are not right. Like, I bring it to someone's attention. I call the police. I do something about it. You know, your phone call is on file. It's on record. It is recorded. You know, it's the police negligence, or it's the police failure to do something about a problem. They can see the problem. They see it, but they won't do anything about it. If there is a person that sits there and lies to the police to cover the criminal, that's like a person that's a murderer. You know he's a murderer, and then you're lying and you're covering for that murderer. The person is a sex abuser, a child abuser, child molester, and you know that, and you cover for them and you lie for them, and then you say that the child is crazy, you know. And the child is not crazy. The child is now an adult and has all these mental problems, or scared, you know, to be even let anyone touch her because of whatever happened in the childhood. You know, that's traumatizing for a child to be touched. You know, it can affect the child's development when they grow up, you know, for anything to happen to the child. And that's why children are so delicate. Children are so important, and the welfare of a child is important. They matter. Children matter. You may think that they're young and they don't know anything, and nah, that child is the future, and you have to protect that child. You have to be there for that child. If that child is in danger, you need to help them. Help that child. You know, I've always called the police. I would call for a wellness check. I want them to check the property. Like, something is wrong in the house. Something is wrong with these kids. They're being abused. The police would never listen to me. They would never listen, because my mother would lie to the police and say everything is fine. You know, he's mentally abusive, aggressive, violent. He's just, what is it? Like, you know, when a person is demonic people, demons, they live in filth. They defecate on themselves. They piss on themselves. Defecate, that's like taking a shit, you know, on yourselves. Piss on yourselves. You're abusing drugs. You're taking drugs. You're talking to the demons. And then you sit in the same place where all this mess is at. That person has a mental problem and they need mental help. And I would call for them to take that person to be taken, to get an evaluation, and then they would be released and never get the mental help, because no one would help. Like, my mother would lie, and he would say everything is fine, and he needs the help but doesn't want to accept the mental help, so they never get mental help. You know, it could be bipolar, it can be all these kind of things. But and then when you have someone that enables a person and makes it seem like they're okay and everything is fine, they never get the help that they need, and they stay on drugs. They stay being a sex offender, a pedophile, a child abuser, a woman beater. All these problems, they have all these kind of problems, and they don't get help because they have an enabler that helps them to carry on, you know. And it's crazy. The children were taken away. The children were taken away, and I thank God that these kids were taken away. I don't know if anything happened to these children. I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised. But, you know, it's nothing that I can do, because my mother allowed it, and she would cover for the abuser. And then I wanted the children to be taken by other family members, and she would never let me speak to the other people. The alarms keep going off. It's just noisy. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. And this is New York City. This is just how it is. And it's just like, oh my God. Like, I'm just making this video. It's like, if you see a child in danger, call the police, get them help. That child needs help. Help that child, you know? Whoever is there is not helping the child. They are abusing that child, you know? And it's bad. It's just so bad on so many levels. And I thank God. Whoever called CPS, fucking thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because the kids were taken away. The kids were taken away, and I'm like, oh my God, like they could have a chance at life, you know? Because to be abused, to be touched, that's a traumatic experience. That's a life-changing experience. Kids will never be the same. You know, they end up with all kinds of problems in the future because of a traumatic experience. And it's like, it's just been allowed for so long, and no one wanted to help these children. And I have been trying for so long to help these children. I wanted these children out of that home, and I wanted them to be helped. I was like, even if they're put in foster care, I know that they would be put in a good home. You know, they would be in a home, and they would be taken care of. They would have their own bed. They would have clothes. They would be fed. You know, those are simple things. Those are basic necessities that a child needs. And it's hard when a child doesn't have that. They are deprived of so many things, even education. They don't interact with other children because whatever abuse is being done in the home, they don't want the schools to know. They don't want the schools to call CPS, so they don't take them to school, you know? And everything. It's like, it's obvious there is something wrong, and nobody would do anything about it. And I kept calling the police. I kept telling these people to do something, and nobody would do anything for these kids. And I just feel so like hurt. I feel hurt. I feel like, oh my God, like these kids.